Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christy and today we're going to be talking about my 5th graders homeschool curriculum. I am currently homeschooling a 5th grader and a 2nd grader, technically, if you want to talk in grade levels. But I thought that I would just kind of give you guys a little overview of what we're doing, how we're making our days flow. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old that I'm trying to juggle in between. So that can present a little bit of a problem if I am not flexible and if I don't have a plan. So I wanted to talk with you guys a little bit about what our homeschool day looks like, what we're currently using. This video specifically will be for about my 5th grader's curriculum and how his day flows. And so if you are interested in that type of video, stay tuned and we're gonna take a look at what he's using this year. Okay, so first of all, we have changed curriculums this year halfway through, and the reason for that is we finished up a curriculum at the end of December that we had started the previous school year. So all of that to say, you don't have to follow the public school system's calendar year. You can do things your own way. We tend to be more on like a January to December kind of school year. So we just started our new curriculum. So before, Mason, who is now in 5th grade, for math, was using master books last year, and we did enjoy master books. It just, as far as our learning style here, I just felt like it wasn't a really great fit. We enjoyed it. We finished the curriculum. I didn't find really any issues, but I did feel like changing it up a little bit. Mason was a little bored with the master books curriculum. So for his math, we ended up switching over to teaching textbooks. We have used teaching textbooks in the past, and this year he is doing the teaching textbooks. I believe it's 4.0. That is, they just recently switched to an app format, and so he signs on, he goes through the lessons, he does the assignment, and then it grades it for him. It gives him some feedback, and it kind of takes a lot of pressure off of me to teach him math, and he is liking the format of that right now. So that seems to be working really well for him, and he's thriving, and I don't think that we're going to change that going forward. He's doing so well. I don't really have anything to show you in this video about teaching textbooks because it is all online, but maybe at the end I can grab my iPad and we can kind of look at what the app looks like. But it's very colorful. It keeps his attention. The lessons are short, sweet, to the point, and the grading style is excellent, gives them lots of good feedback. So that has been working so well and he loves it. Okay, so that is his math, and then I'm gonna do a general overview of his curriculum, and then I'm gonna talk about how we structure our days. So for his language arts, that is the one that we have most recently also switched. I think last week we started this new curriculum, but we went back to last year. We tried the master books language arts, but in the previous years we have been using the Good and the Beautiful. And I went back to the Good and the Beautiful. The Good and the Beautiful curriculum, if you're not familiar with it, is kind of a comprehensive, here's kind of what the course book looks like for the 5th grader. It's a kind of comprehensive curriculum. It encompasses, and it says it right here, literature, grammar and usage, punctuation, art, geography, vocabulary, and writing. So this is a very comprehensive curriculum, and every day there is a list of things that the child does. And before he even starts the coursework, it starts, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it basically starts right here. Here we go. So there's things that he has to do every single day. The first thing that we do is together, which is a sentence dictation. And that's basically found in the course companion. So it comes with this course companion. This is where basically you'll find the things that go along with the coursework. So there are the answer keys, and then there's the sentence dictation. There is sentence diagramming. There are vocabulary lists. There's poetry memorization in this book, and other things that they memorize throughout the course, like states and capitals for their geography, and a lot of punctuation rules and things like that. But what I wanted to talk about first is the sentence dictation, which is what he and I do together before he starts his coursework. So each page has a full page worth of sentence dictation. So this is sentences that I will read out to him, that he will copy down onto his page. It focuses on a spelling rule. It focuses on a, like this page specifically focuses on compound words, commonly confused words. So this one specifically focuses on the words to, and to, and how to spell those and their meanings. So anyway, I read the sentences out. He copies them down into his sentence dictation notebook / writing notebook, which he is using this notebook right here. And then we go over the corrections together. So if he misspelled a word, he underlines the compound word. I have been doing 4 sentences a day with him. And then we just go over and make corrections. And that has really helped to improve a lot of things. Spelling, sentence structure, and then of course the rules and language punctuation and things that he needs to learn. So that's part of the first things that we do. The second part is ladders or poetry memorization. So like I referenced earlier, there are states and capital ladders in the beginning of this course companion. So because we do CC as well, which I'll talk about that in a second. If you're not familiar with what CC is, it's called Classical Conversations. It's a community and it involves a lot of memory work. He's familiar with the states and capitals, but that is part of what is referenced to as the ladders. So each day we study either these ladders that match states and capitals, or he's working on poetry memorization, and he has chosen, I think, 2 poems to memorize this semester. And we have just been working on the first stanza of what he's chosen to memorize. So that's the second part of his daily work. The third part are the geography or grammar cards. You alternate days with these. So I picked up this little, I don't know, index card / I don't know, bill holder, coupon holder, whatever you want to call it, at Walmart. And the course comes with these, where did I put them? They come with these like flashcards that here they are. They're perforated. You just pop them out. So you can see that this is part of the geography. And then there's also, let's see. So it'll say like, it'll give a picture of what the state is. And on the back, it would give us like the name of the state. And then the second part to these are grammar memory work. So this one says like, what are the 4 sentence types? The child would flip the card over and he would read statement, question, command, exclamation, and then memorize that. So that's what he is using in this container here, and he's working on that memory work daily. I'm giving him, 5 to 7 cards to memorize, and then once he's mastered those, then we'll move on to other ones. And then the next part is 1 lesson in the course book, which is what I'm holding here. So I'm just going to show you guys. For example, this says lesson 2. This is what the course, like 1 lesson in the course book would look like. It usually has some art that they study, things that we go through together, activities that he does on his own, and then we talk about. Again, here's more activities that he does and we talk about. And so this in particular lesson is just this front page here and then the back page. And then after he is finished with his lesson, then let's go back to the checklist. There's one more component, personal reading. So the course comes with 2 different books. It comes with, So this is the shared reader that it comes with, and it has stories in here that you read together, and it's kind of like this. So we read, we talk about it, and that is given as part of the lesson, so we know exactly what we need to do. And then it also has this personal reader, and so they want you to assign, 15 to 20 minutes a day that they can either read in the personal reader or they can choose their own book to read, but an independent reading session every day. So I have not had him doing the personal reader. We have been doing this as part of the lesson, but Mason has been enjoying the, what are the books? The I Survived series. So it talks about like I survived like different natural disasters or wars or things like that. And that's right up his alley because he absolutely loves things like that. So he's been doing reading in those books, and I require 20 minutes a day for that. So that is his language arts and kind of what he does on a daily basis. In the morning, he also gets this God's devotional book for boys out, and he reads one devotional a day. He doesn't have to write anything down, but he does have to read about it, and then he has to tell me about what he read. So that has been working out really, really well. He's way far into this book. So I think it's working out really well. It says David Cook. I don't know if that is the author. It says davidcook.com, Transforming Lives Together. So that's maybe where you could find it if you wanted to take a look. But as far as Mason is 10, so this seems to be pretty good for that age group. So if you're interested, you could check that out. Before we had switched over to The Good and the Beautiful, we were using this spelling book, Natural Speller, and I was just using the spelling lists from this book. It has spelling lists by grade level. So this is the 5th grade spelling words, and he was just copying these spelling words several times each, like in groups of 10, until he learned to spell them, and then I would quiz him on those, and then we would move on to the next group of words. So if you're looking for this is an actual curriculum, but I didn't use it that way. I was just using it for the word lists. So this is a really, really handy book to have for spelling word lists broken down by grade level if you're interested. I also used that for my 2nd grader, and I bought this from Thrift Books. So if you haven't checked out Thrift Books, you should check them out because you can get lots of wonderful books at really great prices. Okay, so the very last part of Mason's independent work is his handwriting. I guess language arts is not exactly independent. He does some of it independent and some of it he works with me, but he can do this 100% by himself. This is also The Good and the Beautiful handwriting, and it is the level 5 book. So it is cursive. Each book has a page like this. This is considered one lesson. Let me see if you guys can see. So he practices all of his cursive letters, then he practices a sentence in cursive, and then it usually has a drawing activity at the bottom. So that's something that he's enjoying. It's easy, good practice. I'm able to look it over and just make sure that he's forming the letters correctly. And so this has been working out really, really well. So that is that. Okay, and then depending on the day, typically he does do a good bit of independent work before we get started, because you guys know when you have a baby and a toddler and other children, Mom is always trying to get things situated before I can sit down and do school. So that gives him time to get things done that he knows he needs to get done. In order to kind of help him stay focused on that, and Maddie as well, I created some lists for them, and I just literally took a blank sheet of white paper. I put it in this little sleeve that I think I got at the Dollar Tree. It makes it dry erasable, So every day, these are his daily tasks. So he has math, language arts, writing, Bible devotion, independent reading, and spelling. And so these are the things that are daily. And then at the bottom, I have group subjects that we do together. Tuesdays, we go to our homeschool community, so I have that blocked off. But Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I have, for Mondays, history, catechism, memory work, read aloud, and Bible. Wednesdays, science, read aloud, Bible. Thursdays is history, catechism, memory work, read aloud, and Bible. And then Friday, we have our Bible, read aloud, arts, games, music, poetry. Friday can be kind of a, I don't want to call it like a fun learning day, but we use Fridays sometimes for things that we don't get to during the week. Any projects or things that may take up a little extra time, I kind of allow those to happen on Fridays. So that's how I have sort of kept us on task on what we need to be doing and accomplishing. So now I'm going to show you our group subjects, what we use, and what's working for us. I try to keep it pretty simple. Most of it is just me reading aloud to the kids. So for Bible, I use this Bible storybook, and I've used this for many years. This is a book that I have found to be pretty accurate for, turning scripture into stories that the kids can follow easily while maintaining that historical and factual and everything authenticity. So it has been working really well. I enjoy this book a lot, and it's broken down into sections that are short enough to not take up a ton of time and that we can just kind of truck along. This book is pretty thick. You probably won't get through this in one school year, but it's something that we could do together, or you could do with your family year round. So really no time frame, This is a priceless addition to your library if you don't have it. I found this at my Ollie's many years ago, and I think I got this from Ollie's. It is just, it's usually not that expensive, and it's a good book to have. So we use that for our Bible story time. And then to get more in depth with theology and really catechizing the kids, I ordered this was a 3 set of books, and this came from, it says founders.org. I'm not sure if that's where I ordered this from, but I'm sure that you could find this from that website, founders.org. There it is. So this is the first book. It's called Truth and Grace Memory Book. And we do this as a group. We go through, we read a question and then memorize the answer. So like I would say, who made you? And they would say, God made me. And then I would say, what else did God make? And they repeat, God made all things. And each one has scripture to back up what they're memorizing. And so right now the kids can quote and memorize, I think we're on, so 36 theological facts. So like the last one that we just memorized was, can anyone be saved by his own righteousness? And they would repeat, no one is good enough for God. So I cannot recommend this enough. It is absolutely fantastic. And once they are finished with this book, we'll move on to the next ones. They also have, they also have hymns, the doxology in the back, quotes from Martin Luther, lots of different things. Books of the Bible in the back to memorize, and the 10 Commandments, quotes from Spurgeon, Lewis, Bible scripture memory verses in the back. It's absolutely priceless. I love this. This was one of the best purchases I've ever made. I love this. So there's 2 other things I wanted to mention. The first one is history. History is a subject that I don't want to say neglected, but we had memorized, of course, timeline songs and history facts through CC, but never really dug super deep into history. And I didn't want anything that was going to weigh the kids down a whole lot. But since Mason is in the 5th grade, I did feel like we needed to start digging a little bit deeper. So we are using Story of the World. This is a history curriculum that is in story format. It has CDs you can buy if you don't want to read it out loud, and the kids can just listen to it while they color or do something else. I'm just reading it to them while they do Legos or draw every day. We just do a couple of short sections. We talk about it. And then whenever I feel like it, I will pull up like a YouTube video. We just learned about King Tut, And yesterday I thought it would be really fun for the kids to watch a YouTube video. I think it was on the National Geographic, but it was on YouTube, and it showed the tomb of King Tut, what they discovered, and it was so interesting. The video was probably 10 or 15 minutes long, and so for history class, we read that, we watched the video, and then I just call it done. So can't recommend this enough. There are, I think, 4 or 5 different books, so you can just cycle through those. So this is the first one. It's the volume 1, Ancient Times, and so that's what we do for history as a group subject. All right, for science. Science is another one of those things that I kind of hit or miss on sometimes. I was using a curriculum, I should have pulled it out. It was a unit study. Actually, we have done quite a bit in that. So let me just see if I can grab it really quick. Okay, so this is science. This is also a Good and the Beautiful unit study that I think, if I'm not mistaken, was free. You just had to print it out. So I just got some really high quality paper at the office store, printed it out, and we had been going through this curriculum. It's absolutely beautiful. Let me show you. I don't know if you guys will be able to really see. All right, so there's like vocabulary words and terms. This is marine biology, so it's got several lessons. It's got science experiments. It's got little books that you go through, creatures of the ocean that you learn about. Of course, the oceans, you study those. It just, it's got phenomenal content, and we've done several lessons in this book, and I still want to continue in this book. However, I feel like it's a little involved sometimes, a little more involved than I feel like we have time for, and I found myself kind of pushing it to the side. So I'm still going to move through this, but on the days that I don't really have a ton of time to devote to science, I have the Usborne Science Encyclopedia. And so basically this thing covers everything, and it's got absolutely gorgeous illustrations. It's just a high quality book. And this book I actually found at the thrift store for $1, which was a steal of a deal, but this is a really great resource. If you don't have time for your science curriculum specifically, you can just read a few pages out of this book. So the last thing is our classical conversations memory work, and we do weekly memory work. This is what 1 week looks like, and it touches on each subject and has a memory something to memorize about it. So like this week, we are memorizing what are some parts of an atom for science. We are memorizing metric measurements. We're memorizing John 1:3 in Latin. We are memorizing some timeline events. We are memorizing a history sentence about immigrants coming to America. For geography, we're studying the Great Lakes, so we'll memorize what the Great Lakes are. It's just really great memory work, and I use this not as our core, but as a supplementation. You can do it either way. A lot of people use this as almost their entire curriculum, and then just add a math and language arts, which is all that you really need to do. But I do find that because Mason is getting older, I wanted to be a little more comprehensive in our schooling. So we do memory work, but we also have all of the other stuff too. It sounds like a lot, but we don't do everything every day. So we just kind of break it up into different days, and it ends up working. And if we're having a hard day, I go easy on the workload. And if it is a good day, we may go a little heavier. And so that is just all about being flexible. And the privilege of homeschooling is that we get to make those choices. So I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing what my 5th grader is using for his homeschool curriculum. I hope this helped in any sort of way, and stay tuned because I will be showing my 2nd grader's homeschool curriculum if you're interested in that. Be sure to leave a comment down below so we can chat. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and the little bell icon to be notified of any future videos. I will talk to you guys real soon. Bye.